I've reread this book every year since I found it. And as you can tell, I've completely just annihilated the inside of the book. I've digested it many times and highlighted so many areas because this book is amazing. So today we're going to be talking about this book. I've also added a book list to my Amazon page, my 8 books that have helped me heal more than any others. Only one mentions parental alienation. This book is not about parental alienation at all. I didn't even know about parental alienation, obviously, 8 years ago, but this still helped me so much and paved the way for me to be able to question things. This is an excellent book for anyone to read. This is an excellent book to give to your child to read. Like I said, it has nothing to do with abuse or parental alienation or anything like that. It is all about mindfulness, controlling your thoughts, discerning who you are, figuring out your identity, and it's mostly talking about the voices inside your head and how to manage your thoughts. Let's dive right into it. I broke it down into 8 major lessons I took away from this book. The first lesson is that you are not your thoughts. I was so caught up in my thoughts, I didn't realize my thoughts were not me. One of the central themes in this book is the distinction between yourself and your inner dialogue. Recognizing you are the observer of your thoughts, not the thoughts themselves. You can create peace. You can let go of guilt, shame, embarrassment, sadness, anger, and frustration when thoughts don't align with your values. They're just thoughts. It's not you. So the book starts off by talking about this voice in your head. The voice in your head, the mental dialogue we have all day long, running consciously or unconsciously, that never stops. Singer notes that, quote, if you spend some time observing this mental voice, the first thing you will notice is that it never shuts up. And this is so true, at least for me. This stream of consciousness voice in my head, the thoughts that are on a wheel, keep going all day long. I don't know about you, but it's hard for me to go to a state of mind where I literally am not thinking about anything. That's what Singer starts off by in the first chapter, describes how our minds are always talking. And so many of us make the mistake of believing that we are our thoughts, but we're not. Why is it so important to step outside of yourself or above yourself and become a third-party observer of your thoughts? When you step above yourself, you create distance between your emotional experience and your thoughts. Simply observing your internal experience can help you evaluate situations logically instead of emotionally. Some important quotes that I found that have to relate with this message that you are not your thoughts are, you are the one who observes your thoughts, not the thoughts themselves. When you realize that you are the observer, you understand thoughts are just passing phenomena. A thought is like a leaf passing down a stream. You can let it come in, observe it, and then let it leave. We have discomfort and pain when we attach meaning to the thoughts, when we hold on to the thoughts, like that leaf running down the river, we don't let it flow in and out. We hold on to it, and that can create a lot of suffering. The moment you recognize that the voice inside your head is not who you are, you gain freedom. You have the ability to choose which thoughts to entertain, which thoughts reflect your values and morals. Just because you have a thought doesn't mean that's automatically true. And the key to inner peace is understanding that your thoughts do not define you. I think our actions define us, but our thoughts do not. Our thoughts are beyond our control to a certain level. We can have automatic thoughts that do not reflect who we are. The second lesson I learned in this book is the power of letting go. The book emphasizes how important it is to let go of past traumas, negative experiences, and emotional baggage. Holding on to these things can hinder your growth and happiness. Michael Singer talks about surrendering. Singer argues that the more you fight your experiences, the more you suffer. Learning to accept the present moment opened a door to joy I didn't know existed. Quotes from this lesson, letting go is the key to freedom. It's how you free yourself from the past. And I know seems a lot easier said than done. The book goes into how to do this exactly. The only thing holding you back is your attachment to your experiences. To experience life, let go of your fears and inhibitions. When you let go, you create space for new experiences to flow into your life. Holding on to past pain creates more suffering. Release it and you will find peace. The third lesson I learned from this book was surrender to the present moment. Embracing the present moment and accepting it as it is, even if it is painful. Trying to control or resist it can lead to a profound sense of peace. Michael Singer argues what differentiates a conscious, centered being from a person who is the focus of their awareness. When you are centered, your consciousness is aware of being conscious. I love this. It's so important to become conscious of your thoughts and that you are not your thoughts. Be a third-party observer, and that goes hand in hand with being conscious. The only way to find peace is to embrace the present moment without resistance. Surrender is the key to living a life full of joy and fulfillment. When you stop resisting what is, you open yourself up to what can be. Let go of the need to control it and allow life to unfold as it should. Much of life is just beyond our control, and we spend a lot more energy and effort trying to do silly things to control it when we really can't in the first place. The fourth lesson is inner stillness. So the fourth lesson that I took from the book was inner stillness. This is a passion project of mine. I am a very busy woman. I am a mother of 2 little girls, and I am just running around constantly. I'm a wife. Inner stillness is difficult to attain. It's in stillness that this all occurs. The book says the more you're willing to just let the world be something that you're aware of, the more it will let you be who you are. I love that. Here's a quote from the book that I love. When I read this for the first time, it took me aback. Let me know what you think about this quote. It's about finding inner stillness and becoming a third-party observer of your thoughts. Stepping outside your mind, you can visualize this rising above your head and just watching your thoughts. You realize that you are not who you thought you were. You're not even a human being. You will begin to have deep experiences. You will find you are tremendously expansive. To be free, you have to let go of what is holding you back. You have to let go of those thoughts that create chaos. In stillness, you'll find clarity. In those moments of silence that you connect to the true essence of who you are, allowing life to flow through you without disruptions. The fifth lesson this book taught me is that life is a journey. Singer encourages readers to view life as a continuous journey rather than a series of destinations. Alleviate anxiety about the future, pressure about the present, and enhance appreciation of the present. I found a new sense of adventure and peace in the uncertainty of everyday life. I started to become more present. To be present is something that we hear a lot these days. It's like a pop culture thing. But Singer in the book describes what it means to be present. According to him, quote, imagine if you were being so fully present during each experience of life that it was touching you to the depth of your being. Every moment would be a stimulating, moving experience because you would be completely open and life would be flowing right through you. Have you ever had any experiences like this? I sure have. These are probably some of the best moments of my life. What he says following that is what happens when an experience doesn't make it through. This relates to trauma. He's talking about memories, experiences that haunt us, moments that haven't flowed out of us. Singer says, what you don't realize is that your entire experience of life is about to change because of what didn't make it through you. Your life must compete with this blocked event for your attention. The impression does not just sit there quietly. You will see that your tendency will be to think about this constantly, to process it through your mind. Long-term energy patterns that cannot make it through you are pushed out of the forefront of the mind and held until you are prepared to release them. They don't just disappear. When you are unable to allow life's events to pass through you, they stay inside and become a problem. These patterns may be held within you for a very long time. Past impressions get stimulated, even old ones, and they affect your life. Moments that haunt me, disturb me, make me sad, make me angry, things that have happened or been said or been done that still confuse me, still upset me. And these are these energy patterns that will not go through me. I'm hanging on to them and it's creating suffering. Being aware can help you process emotions. People with chronic trauma, especially PTSD, often develop a lot of health conditions, actual physical health conditions, in addition to mental health conditions. But I'm talking about chronic illnesses, autoimmune disorders, cancer, a whole bunch of different illnesses. And I think trauma, pain, abuse, and neglect, and whatever it may be, being trapped inside the person, festering, it's really dangerous for your health. For me, every time that I have new trauma, It's like a new lens was added over my eyes, and it wasn't a pretty picture. It wasn't a pretty lens. It would distort my view of reality almost. It would make me see negativity when really there is a lot of positivity to be seen as well. Again, let me know in the comments what you think. Can you relate to that at all? Have you found anything that has helped? I found EMDR to be helpful. The sixth lesson from this book was fear and resistance. According to the book, your fear comes from your anxiety and attachment to outcomes. And instead of resisting fear, confronting the fear can lead to personal growth. Quote, the only way to get rid of fear is to face it. Fear is an energy that can only flow through you if you don't hold on to it. You can't avoid fear, but you can learn to embrace it and let it pass. When you see fear is just a thought, you can separate yourself from it. Letting go of fear is the most powerful thing to free yourself. These quotes encapsulate the book's message about confronting fear, allowing it to pass through you, and ultimately finding freedom from fear. The seventh, second to last lesson I took away from this book is the nature of reality and how our perception shapes reality. We all have different realities. You probably know this. But by shifting your mindset, you can change your own reality. You can change your experience of life if you actually work at it. I love that this book opens by my all-time favorite author, William Shakespeare, a quote from him. And it says, "This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night, the day, thou not then be false to any man." And I take this to mean that to maintain honest relations with others, we must first be true to ourselves. We cannot be honest with others if we aren't honest with ourselves. And that is a huge thing this book can help with. Figuring out how to be honest to yourself, what that even looks like for you. The quotes that I love that relate to this point, what you are experiencing is not what's happening. It's how you're interpreting what's happening. Wow. Talk about distancing yourself from the events. That's beautiful. It's how you're interpreting what's happening. That's your experience of life, not what's actually happening. This is important for inner strength, mental toughness. If you control your thoughts, you can survive almost anything. The mind creates a reality colored by thoughts and emotions. You are not the experiences. You are the one who experiences them. It's important to identify that you are not your thoughts or experiences. You are the third-party observer. Reality is simply what it is. Your thoughts and beliefs distort it. When you let go of mental constructs, you see reality as it truly is. So what is the eighth takeaway from this book for me personally? It's about emotional energy. Singer discusses how emotions are energy that flow through us. Learning to allow this emotional energy to pass without clinging to it leads to emotional freedom. I love this quote. If you watch carefully, you have a phenomenal amount of energy inside you. It doesn't come from food and it doesn't come from sleep. This energy is always available to you. At any moment, you can draw upon it. When it is flowing strongly, you can actually feel it coursing through your veins. The only reason you don't feel this energy all the time is because you block it by closing your heart, by closing your mind, and by pulling yourself into a restrictive space inside. I don't know about you, but that is something I do every day to be in that great state of flow where there's no impediment between you and your experience is the ultimate goal, right? That's where we find joy, where we really experience life. The heart is an energy center. It can open or close. This energy needs openness and receptivity. So to keep this great energy going, to keep this phenomenal amount of energy storage open to you, is to remain open and receptive yourself. The book actually says that you can train yourself to open your heart every time you see a person. It's a question of whether you want to open or close. It's ultimately under your control. Closing your heart does not really protect you from anything, the book says. It cuts you off from your source of energy. Do not let anything be important enough to close your heart over it. When your heart starts to close, just say, no, I'm not going to close. I'm going to relax. I'm going to let this situation take place and be there with it. So if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling hopeless, if you're feeling the urge to change yourself and to improve your experience of life, I urge you, grab The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. This book can change your life just like it changed mine. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Make sure your bell notification is on. And let me know in the comments, have you read this book? What's a book that has changed your life? I'd love to hear your stories. And if you're interested in checking out the book, check out this book in my link in the description. It'll lead you to my 8 top books that have helped me heal on Amazon. They are geared towards former alienated children, but they can apply, a lot of them, to targeted parents or anyone in life. These are all excellent books. Thank you for being here. And until next time, remember, you are not your thoughts. You are a third-party observer of your thoughts. I'll see you next time. Bye.